It's the All-Star Night in Thursday Night Thunder, and we are at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, despite what those incorrect graphics say. I'm pretty sure it said 2-mile D oval. That's not the case. It's a 1.5-mile square D oval at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Noah Belleville is going to lead us to the line in this 25-lap heat. It's the first All-Star TNT race in a very long time, and we're underway. And the 8 car of Toby Estes doesn't go. A couple of guys don't get moving, and it looks like the 91 of Justin Shoup also didn't get going. Estes having trouble moving, and Noah Belleville off to an early lead. We're green still at Charlotte. "25 laps in this first heat. The top 14 advance. 18 drivers registered in tonight's race. 14 of them make it through. Landon's in the house. He said, I just heard the track was slick. Racing Ricky also in the house, rooting for the pride of Bealton, Virginia, Justin Shoup in the 91. Let's see what happened when the race started. Keep your eye on that Coors 91. He lines up to the inside of Jacob Prince. Oh, Prince got loose, and Shoup just spun the tires on the start. And Bealton, Virginia's Justin Shoup with a big problem. Let's see what happened to Toby Estes. The Bud car on the outside, he also spun that. You want to talk about, oh, he slammed hard. Josh DeGennaro, he's in the house, and he's rooting for Ryan Lindemann in that 5-1. Lindo bringing those awesome gold skirts from last week. Remember, we were at Auto Club, and he had those sweet gold skirts on the Folgers machine, doing the same here in his 5-1. And that's my speaker telling me that it's at full volume here. Gotta switch those screens. Got the Windows display up on the screen right now. That's not right. I tell you, the race has come together beautifully. These broadcasts are really pieced together and just held by hopes and bubblegum. Nick Pressey with some new colors tonight. The orange, blue, and gray. Drit Diecast and Collectibles 94 into turn number 3. He sets ahead of John Honeybrink. Racing Ricky asking to explain the race format tonight. So it's a 25-lap heat. The top 14 advance. And then we are going to invert the field. It's going to be a wheel that's spun in the driver's meeting during the halftime break. We're going to invert that field, and then we're going to whatever the number is, whether it be 4, 8, 6, 10, or 12, we're going to flip the field around, and we'll send them for another 50 laps. At the end of 50 laps, winner gets $50. A couple other prizes as well. If you've ever watched an ENEA race, you've seen Jacob Prince there before, you've seen Justin Shoup there before, but you've also seen Tanner Lockhart back in the Xbox days. He used to be a big part of ENEA, and we still keep in really good touch. He's a great friend of mine, and he's also decided that he's going to give a Dale Earnhardt Jr. Color Chrome Nilla Wafers diecast to the winner of tonight's All-Star race. So shout out Tanner Lockhart. If you know him, shout him out. Tell him I said what's up. It's been a while since we've actually played Rocket League. I've got to hit him up, and we've got to play some Rocket League tonight, definitely. But anyway, back to more pressing matters. They want to advance out of the top 14 in this first heat. Donald Ray with some brighter colors. We're used to seeing him in the CarQuest car and the all-black Got Milk machine, but this time probably one of the best-looking paint schemes in tonight's race. He's rocking that Lipton number 5. Donald Ray sits just ahead of Nick Pressey. He's 5 spots ahead of the transfer, where Lindemann has put himself into. The native of Tampa runs 14th, right ahead of Thomas Andrews, who is on the outside looking in. And then Tommy Withers in the number 6 Sin Power machine. And I was talking with Tommy earlier. He said he's not going to run this scheme often, but you take a look at this, and someone in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the 1998 Brickyard 400 paint scheme that Mark Martin ran, well, at Indianapolis, obviously. He comes up behind Tommy Withers looking for the 15th position. Ryan Lindemann starting to wave goodbye to that gorgeous paint scheme. That 51 looking to seal his way into the 50-lap main. .15 laps to go in this first heat. Ryan Lindemann sits in the transfer spot. Landon asking, do the cars get fixed after this heat? One fast repair. That's it. 20 to 25 laps is the fuel window. They're probably going to go longer than that on fuel. Probably a lot further than that on fuel, to be honest. Unlimited tire changes. 75 total laps in tonight's race. And there it is. The top 14 advance from the heat to the 50-lap main. We're going to get these screens fixed here, so bear with us just a second. Let's ride on board with 5th place, Briley Wright. Just as we cut away, Briley Wright spins the race car into turn number 1. This could be huge for his transfer position. 10th. Here comes Honeybrink in 11th. Dustin Painter now trying to make his way through the field. There is the transfer spot. Ryan Lindemann, he's not going to be able to get around Briley Wright and get to safety. Thomas Andrews on attack, but Briley Wright says, you guys have it. I'll go ahead and stay out of your way. He decides to grab some more wall in the 29 Good Wrench Chevrolet. Pedaling backwards. What happened? He just fell off that racetrack. Here's Briley in the 2.9. And you heard it. We cut away from the camera there. This is, I think, a lap prior. And you can see he's just already a little bit loose coming out of turn number 2. Right on board with Briley. Watch the hands. Oh, almost already some contact there with the 9 of Jacob Prince. Run that back one time. What happened here? Oh, they just made contact. Watch the hash marks. Prince is on the wall a little bit. Oh, Prince comes off the wall into the 2.9 of Briley Wright. And you can see there was net code. There was daylight between them. Have another look. Prince pulls off the wall. You see he's glued to the wall there. He pulls off down on Briley Wright. Briley slides up the racetrack just trying to recover the race car. He sits in 14th right now. He's in the transfer position ahead of Tommy Withers. Briley hits the grass through the front straight, and he just gets turned by the 9. Run that one back. He comes up off the dog leg right into the 9 of Jake Prince. Have a look. I'm not sure if Prince was expecting that to happen. Briley Wright just gets turned into turn number 1, but he sits in the transfer spot behind Honeybrink, who's there in 12th. There's Briley Wright getting loose again at this point with 9 at the line this time by. Briley's just trying to survive. No cautions this far into the race. If you just tuned in, you haven't missed a thing. Thursday Night Thunder, the All-Star race, our first All-Star race in forever. Look at Briley really throwing it into the corner. Maybe the car's just so upset he can't handle it. Tommy Withers now behind that 2.9. Let's go on board with the 6. Noah Belleville with a resounding lead, 2.5 seconds, as he takes 8 on the line. 2 Missouri drivers nose to, well, not nose to tail, they're 3 seconds apart for goodness sake, but Seth Wansing from Kansas City and Noah Belleville from DeSoto, Missouri. Tom Sears in the Western Mass Mechanical Contractors Supra, sitting in 3rd right now. Drivers get 1 fast repair in this event. heat, main, whatever. One fast repair. Top 14 advance. Briley Wright sits in that 14th position behind John Honeybrink. Does he push the issue on the 2-4 on the 2-0, knowing the 6 car is behind him? 6 to go this time by. Tristan Catania coming up behind Justin Shoup in the 91, going on the high side. Tristan in a special paint scheme. Bad braking. Not braking bad. Bad braking. And he just decides to come off that backstretch wall, looking to finish somewhere other than 18th position before this one's out. Tom Sears on the inside of Seth Watson. What happened to the Missouri pilot? He's loose into turn number 1. 5 to go this time by. Tom Sears will finish in the 2nd position. Nick Pressey from Brooklyn running in 5th. How about Jason Alexander? All the way from Sumter, South Carolina, making a very rare Thursday Night Thunder appearance. He decides to show up in tonight's All-Star event. Jaco in that 5.6 Chevrolet. Denise Lindemann says, go Lindo, 5-1. There's Ryan Lindemann. Where is Ryan Lindemann? Have I lost him? There he is in 14th. He transfers to the next stage of this race if he can stay in the 14th position. Cody Riggs, 1 1/3 seconds behind him in that Budweiser Chevrolet. And you just got to wonder what's on the side of Cody's car. It says 6-2. Is that for Aiden Norman? Normally he's got a funny little picture on the side of the race car, but this time it's the 6-2 for Aiden Norman. So I guess he's shouting out the 3-time Thursday Night Thunder champion, who's out doing some fun things this summer. Taking a much-needed break from Thursday Night Thunder. Not for him, but for everybody else who, frankly, we were sick of seeing of Aiden win races. Ask Landon in the chat. Big fan of Aiden Norman, but loves to hate on him because he just won all the time. He's won an unbelievable amount of races. He's the only 3-time champion in Thursday Night Thunder. Is the only driver to win 3 straight championships in Thursday Night Thunder. Aiden Norman, definitely one of a kind and a fantastic driver. So that's a cool little shout-out by Cody Riggs, showing some love to the 6-2. Justin Shoup in the 16th position. Remember, 14th and up transfers. 15th and down out of this race. Landon says the dude that got into Briley Wright has now taken Aiden's spot. Talking about Jacob Prince, another South Carolinian in this race. This time, he's the pride of Greenwood, South Carolina. He runs 4th. And not that it matters. There's no points on offer tonight, but the TNT points coming into tonight's race showing Jake Prince running 1st by only 3 tiny points over Justin Shoup. Then Toby Estes, one of those Bluegrass Bandits, he's running in 3rd. Noah Belleville, your current race leader, 4th in points and rounding out the top 5. Another Virginian in tonight's race. You've got Tommy Withers. White flag is out in the heat. Noah Belleville with a 3.7-second lead over Massachusetts' Tom Sears. That's crazy. Seth Wansing sitting in 3rd, and Jacob Prince running in 4th now that Nick Pressey has been put down to 5th. Toby Estes gets around to that 8th position, but how about the battle for the transfer spot? There's Andrews in 11th. Briley Wright is in 13th, and Lindo closely following behind in... Lindo's in 13th. John Honeybrink is in 14th. Noah Belleville takes the checkered flag. Honeybrink is safe. There's Riggs, who needs to challenge. Honeybrink in the transfer spot. Here comes Cody Riggs. Out of that final corner, one last-ditch effort, and it is John Honeybrink who makes it through to that final stage. Cody Riggs sends his car like a missile down to the inside. Talk about giving it everything. That was a pretty slick move there. Let's have one more look at that one there. This is the final lap. Cody Riggs really trying. Let's go on board with the 3. Gave it absolutely everything, and that's the way that one goes. So fans at home, we're going to take a 2-minute break while we let the drivers get shuffled around. We're going to let the order naturally develop, and we'll see you all for the second stage of this race. The top 14 advance. John Honeybrink just made it in. Cody Riggs and company are out. We'll see you here in a couple of minutes for the second stage of this race. Don't go anywhere. TNT All-Star Night continues. Back at Charlotte for the rest of Thursday Night Thunder here. Going to live pictures. How about that here? We're here for just a little bit of a warm-up. We've got about 52 seconds left in this warm-up session. We're joined by one of the big men up top here for Thursday Night Thunder, Thomas Andrews, who helps us run the show here in conjunction with Toby Estes and Tom Sears. Tommy, what a great night for sim racing.
Yeah, this is awesome that we're able to do this. Our first time having an all-star race on iRacing. Crazy that we've gone this long without doing it, but I'm glad we're doing it tonight.
No, absolutely brilliant, man, and it's a lot of people that put it together. And again, a shout out to Tanner Lockhart, who's donating that awesome color chrome Dale Jr. Nilla Wafers car. Definitely a lot of incentive for guys to have fun tonight. A lot of prizes tonight in a very what we take as a really serious season. This has been a lot of fun and a joy to put together.
Yeah, a serious season, but also kind of a laid-back atmosphere that we run here. We don't have crazy rules like banners or stuff like that, and we just want to have fun. So, but we're definitely serious and competitive. With all that being said, tonight is kind of more of a little bit of on the fun side, and like you said, we're racing for money here, so racing for some prizes. We're going to be inverting the top 6, but we're girding up here. But I just want to say thank you to you, Rick. Thank you to Tom Sears, Toby Estes, and everybody else who kind of makes TNT what it is. I mean, TNT is a blast. I enjoy running it every Thursday. I just want to thank all the drivers, all the people that are watching at home, and everyone who's contributed to TNT over the seasons.
It's going to be an awesome race, man. We'll let you grid up, and we'll go to work here, man. Have a good race.
Thank you.
So we're getting ready to go. The grid is starting to form. Drivers are going to get put together here. And we're going to start this 50-lap main as they gently start to appear there on the front straight. If you just tuned in, you have not missed a thing except 25 laps of awesome, really, really close racing. Drivers getting rolling now for 50 laps of action. And you heard Tom Sears, Tom Andrews, excuse me. Tom Sears also helps us run the show at TNT. But we're inverting the top 6 drivers from that first heat. So that's going to put Donald Ray in P1 for this 50-lap event. Noah Belleville, who won that first stage, gets the grand prize of absolutely nothing for doing so. So he's going to be rolling off in the 6th position after inverting that top 6. And it was the choice between 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12, and 6 ended up winning out. So we'll see how this plays out for the rest of these drivers here. Jason Alexander from Sumter, South Carolina. He's going to be starting on the outside. Jacob Prince transfers into this final 50 laps. Also hailing from South Carolina. Ryan Lindemann finished 14th or 13th. Was it 13th or 14th? I can't tell. It was John Honeybrink that finished 14th, wasn't it? But I guess Lindo's going to just drop to the back and hang out here. Well, no, he's going to make up the... You know what? I can't count. That's okay. We know I can't count, but we're going to have a good time. 50 awesome laps of racing here in the All-Star. And we got college basketball on tonight. We're going to let these guys get wound up, and then we'll be talking college basketball scores in just a moment. It is the pride of Rockwall, Texas. Donald Ray, who has control of the field. The All-Star race is on. Green flag. Brooklyn's Nick Pressey to the front in a hurry. That game between Clemson and Arizona. Clemson up 5 points with 4 minutes to go in the second half. I was about to say second quarter. Seth Wansing from just south of Kansas City to the inside of the Brooklyn driver. The orange, blue, and silver Monte Carlo has to move to the side, and here comes another Monte Carlo. It's only 3 laps. He started in 6th. Noah Belleville all the way up to the 2nd position, and Seth Wansing leading 31-21. Fastest lap tonight, but we're about to see Noah Belleville put that to shame. Belleville to the inside with a moderately part-time season. Noah Belleville said he's going to try and make it his full-time season, but we'll see how that works out for him. Belleville comes into this race 4th in the point standings, but no points on offer tonight, just some money and some cool prizes. Richie Catania goes off the racetrack here. What happened to the Central Floridian? Oh, he just gets loose off the 4th corner. Sun is out. It is a slick racetrack. Dustin Painter goes around the outside. Noah Belleville has Seth Wansing right behind him. 0.2 of a second the gap. 4 laps now completed. Charlotte. 45 to go next time by. 3-point game between Clemson and Arizona. Number 9 gets behind that 41. Landon asking what happened to Prince on lap number 1. I'm actually really asking the same thing. I'm glad you said something, Landon. I completely forgot he wrecked on the first lap of this race. Let's see what happened. Oh, the double 9 just got loose. Slams into the wall, and his All-Star night is done early. Let's see what happened again. Oh, the 5 car just gets loose. Donald Ray comes up off that blue line right on top of Jacob Prince. And watch it again. Prince just trying to stay out of the way of the 5 car. He does the right thing. Loses control of the race car. Richie Catania having to avoid the double 9. And one more look here. That's a shame. Unbelievably, fantastically talented driver. Luckily, it's not going to hit him in the points. But it's genuinely a shame. .41 of Noah Belleville starting to pull away from Seth Wansing, the number 9 car. Still in the tow of that 41. Looking good so far. 8 laps underway at Charlotte. Nick Pressey in third with Toby Estes coming up behind him. Let me turn that down there. Nobody needs to hear that college basketball going on in the background. That's unnecessary. Jason Alexander behind Ryan Lindemann. And shout out Lindo, running top 8 right now, coming into this all-star break. The 5-1. Trying to climb the points right now. He sits 11th in the point standings right now. Looks like, if my math is right, 15 points behind Thomas Andrews. Average finish of 11th in TNT, so it makes sense that he's 11th in the point standings. But here he comes around, Season 4 Texas winner Donald Ray, and Lindemann climbs another spot to the 7th position. Go Lindo, he's really trying. Josh DeGennaro asking about the 24 paint job, Richie Catania. Now, I don't know the year. I want to say 2003, but it's definitely a Pepsi 400 paint scheme. Now, I don't know if this was also the paint scheme that won free Pepsi for America, but that was the call, and I think it was Mike Joy. I'm not sure. But Jeff Gordon, oh, heavy contact between the 5-6 and the 00. What's going on here? Dustin Painter saves the Doritos Monte Carlo. He slides up the hill. Jason Alexander sitting there in the 12th position. These two having some words. Watch this. Oh, and there goes Landon with a subscription. Appreciate you, Landon. Did Jaco just try coming off the wall? It looks like the 5-6 just lost a little control. Maybe just got lost in the shadow. And the 00 with a little bit of a scratch on the right front fender. So Jason Alexander now coming up behind Dustin Painter, and we'll see if they're so friendly this time around. Moneypenny says she met Mike Joy in the chat a couple of months ago. I genuinely hope it was an experience and a half. I'd love to meet Mike Joy. One of my broadcasting heroes, absolutely, along with Bob Varsha, Bob Jenkins. Benny Parsons as well, obviously, and then, of course, the great Ken Squire. Peter Drury, obviously. Got to put him up there. Oh, how about Thomas Andrews getting loose there, trying to avoid that number 5. Man, these cars are dancing out here. Richie Catania in the 2-4. We were just talking about this paint scheme before we were so rudely interrupted by the 5-6 and the 00, deciding to touch sides. But anyway, I think Mike Joy had the call. And I think it was 2003 or the 2004 Pepsi 400. Or 2000. It could have been anywhere in the mid-2000s. But I think Jeff Gordon won that race, and he scored free a coupon where you could send it in and be mailed a coupon for a free 2-liter of Pepsi. This may not have been that same paint scheme. Don't quote me on that. But Josh, actually, as a matter of fact, Josh was asking in the chat, do the research for me, would you, Josh? Will you search Jeff Gordon billion? Actually, I don't know why I'm asking you to do it. I can Google it myself. I'm sorry. Going back to this basketball game, the score is 70-67. Tigers leading the Wildcats with a $1:30 in the second. Noah Belleville is up 0.6 of a second on Seth Wansing. A little bit of money and a lot of metal on the line for tonight. Toby Estes sitting in third. Racing for Brooklyn, Nick Pressey in fourth, and then Southampton, Massachusetts, Tom Sears rounding out the top 5. Landon wants to take a look at some lap times. Let's take a look at some lap times. There's Noah Belleville in the lead. There's Seth Wansing in second. And over the last 5 laps, Toby Estes, not as quick as Noah Belleville. Neither is Seth Wansing. However, looking at Estes, he's slowly starting to creep up to Missouri's Seth Wansing. We'll see just how far he makes it. But genuinely, although there's no points on the line, there's still just some pride being able to just chase a guy down on this incredibly slick racetrack and get him for a position. It's just that thrill of the competition, isn't it? I'm excited. Let me know in the chat who you're rooting for. Let me know who your favorite driver is tonight. Missouri's Noah Belleville still out front. Orlando's Richie Catania just trying to make it around the outside of car number 2. There they go side by side into turn 1. Looks like Jaco's going to grab some more wall on the outside. Are they going to touch this time down the back straight? Jason Alexander and Dustin Painter. They go 2 by 2, 2 rows deep into turn 3. Out of turn number 4, Thomas Andrews leads the procession. Toby Estes leading the Bluegrass Bandits in that 3rd position. Briley Wright 3 spots behind him in the 6th spot. Remember, Briley got turned around in that first stage by Jake Prince. Briley survived. Jake Prince just trying to avoid the number 5 of Donald Ray, and unfortunately gets himself collected into the wall, but he'll be back next week. Don't you worry. Atlanta Motor Speedway calls Jacob Prince, looking for his 4th victory of the season. Let's go ahead and Google that. Josh was saying he's a Jeff Gordon fan growing up. So was I. Just a huge Jeff Gordon fan. And from what I'm Googling here, this Jeff Gordon $1 billion paint scheme ran in 2004. He ran another one. Okay, so one ran in 2003, and another Jeff Gordon paint scheme ran in 2004. And this is that silver one that ran in 2004. But did he win the 2004 Pepsi 400? I'm going to go ahead and guess that he did, because all I see are pictures of Jeff Gordon. I remember this as well. There's a picture of Tony Stewart and Kurt Busch side by side, and they ran the Coca-Cola C2 paint schemes as well. And you definitely can tell Coke was trying to get their hands on that Daytona July race, because they started running all those Coca-Cola paint schemes at the same time. Seth Wansing now battling it out with Toby Estes for the 2nd position. And now, what do they call the race now? The Coke Zero 400? Still can't tell if Jeff Gordon won this race. I'm looking at pictures of this one, but let me tell you here. Yeah, Jeff Gordon, not only did he win, according to Wikipedia, Jeff Gordon won the pole. He led 61 laps, the most that night, and he ended up winning the race. So, yeah, Jeff Gordon definitely winning the hell out of the Pepsi 400 in 2004. But now I'm curious, who won the 2003 race as well? Probably a DEI car. You remember the DEI cars of the early 2000s? Unstoppable. Unstoppable. And I think Martin Truex Jr. during that time, and no, maybe this was later as well, because Martin Truex Jr., his Busch Series dominance came in later time, but still, I think he was racing for Dale Jr., and he was unbelievably good in that number 8 car as well. There's Tom Sears in that 1-4 machine. And it looks like we've got drivers coming in. So there's Seth Wansing coming into the pits. He wants tires. He wants fuel. Right in the pocket of that pit window. He's also got some scratches on the right-hand side of that number 9 machine. Ryan Lindemann now coming around Thomas Andrews. This is for the 7th position. Lindo right now edging that number 2 TNT machine. And fans at home, if you love any of the paint schemes that you've seen tonight, because Josh, I know you and I are talking about special paint schemes right now, you know, retro paint schemes like, God, I can't believe this is retro. I am so old. Ryan Lindemann's going to come into the pits, but yes, quote, oh, Lindo's spun it. He spun it coming into the pits. He just saves it after scratching the wall there. Have another look. 5-1 wants to come down into the pits. He'll be all right. Look at that, just a little scrape. Walk it off, Lindo. You'll be good, my son. He's going to come down into the pits for tires and fuel. Race leader Noah Belleville is on the way in. Oh, he's coming in at an alarming rate of speed, but he gets it woed up. Bluegrass Bandit Toby Estes will come in behind him. Tom Sears is in second, and that makes your new leader, Nick Pressey, in that number 94 machine. 25 laps to go at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And that 2003 Pepsi 400, by the way, was not won by a DEI car. It was won by Greg Biffle. 24 laps to go in this Thursday Night Thunder All-Star race. Pressey still has to come down into the pits. Dustin Painter, 0.2 of a second ahead of Jason Alexander, but Painter's going to come down into the pits, and is he going to keep it in one piece? He absolutely will, although, well, you saw some smoke there coming out of the Doritos machine, coming down for tires and fuel. Here comes Tom Sears to the inside of a wiggling Nick Pressey out of turn number 2. Pressey just on the outside. Sears wants a piece of him. They're going to fight for it coming down that front straight. And Tom Sears leads Nick Pressey by 0.04 of a second. Now into turn number 1. Pressey's really trying to hold on to the outside. But these tires are shredded. It is a very slick racetrack. Looking at the Clemson-Arizona game. Clemson just missed a couple of free throws. 7 seconds to go. Arizona down 5. Big 3 comes up, and it misses. Rebound picked up by Clemson, and that's it. 77-72. Clemson wins the West Regional semifinal, and they're moving on to the next round of the NCAA tournament. Nick Pressey now comes up behind Tom Sears. What in the world was that all about? Pressey gets into Belleville. There goes Sears right into Pressey. What just happened? Caution is out. 22 laps to go. And I can't help but blame Clemson advancing to the Elite 8 on this recent crash happening. I've been wrong before, and I'm probably wrong now, but what in the world happened here? Have another look at this. Nick Pressey just right up into the 14. And there goes Noah Belleville, the race leader, the dominant car in this race. And you gotta hope he's got one of those faster pairs left. But let's go back a little bit further. What happened between Nick Pressey and Tom Sears? Do we need to go back even further now? Yeah, let's definitely go back a bit further. Here's Tom Sears on the outside of Nick Pressey. And again, this is right before that bonsai move that Nick Pressey does right into the 14. Just gets into him. Nowhere for Belleville to go. It's an innocent bystander. And now, questions definitely going to be asked. This is Tom Sears getting to the inside of Nick Pressey there. Looks like Pressey just gets loose off the 4th corner. This is the lap prior. Sears gets around that 9-4. And let's run this back here. Let's see if there was just any sort of contact, any sort of antagonizing going on. Pressey with just a brilliant run up around the outside of Tom Sears. Now keep your eye on that black 14 car. Tom Sears gets right ahead of Nick Pressey. And I'm trying to find the motive for Pressey just sliding up into Sears into turn number 1 and causing that crash. Y'all tell me, put your ideas in the chat. You guys tell me. Landon now cheering for the Bluegrass Bandits, saying it's their time to shine. And I just want to know what in the world Nick Pressey's thinking here. Did he have control of the race car? Did he disconnect? Well, let's find out. Let's go on board with the 9-4. There's Tom Sears' point of view. Landon saying he doesn't think it was intentional. Let's have another listen. I'm not sure. It just seems like Pressey was trying to get a really good run and moving faster than he thought he was. But that is a tough call. We're going to have to find out here towards the end of this one. 1-9 at the line next time by. As a matter of fact, let's see if we can have a chat with Southampton, Massachusetts, Tom Sears, and just see what went on. Tom Sears, Rick James up top. You got me?
Yes.
Tomo, you're currently leading this race after some really heavy contact with the 9.4. Tell me what happened.
Just these old tires and the track is so hot, which honestly had been an advantage for me. I was catching up to guys, but I just lost my shit in the tri-oval, and that was it. So, don't mean to, get anyone's race screwed up, but this thing is a handful out here.
It's a hot track. It's pretty slick out there. But that's what Landon was saying in the chat, is that it didn't look intentional at all. Spoiler here for you in the NCAA tournament. Clemson just beat Arizona 77-72. Are you interested in the tournament at all? Did you make any bets?
I am locked in on the Celtics right now, my friend. I am full NBA, so whoever wins the tournament, that's great, and a few of those players will make it to the pros. I don't care.
Well, tell me about the Celtics. They going to win the East this year?
I don't know. Let's see if they can beat the Hawks in the regular season.
All right, buddy. So, go Celtics, I guess. Tasted bad saying that, but go Celtics. The Heat are interesting this year for sure. But
yeah. Don't talk about the Heat to me.
No, I don't want to talk about the Heat right now. I want to talk about racing, buddy. Good luck. Hopefully we talk to you at the end.
Thanks, man.
I don't ever want to talk about the Heat. What are they right now? I'm trying to find their record here. Just lost 113-92 to the Warriors. They are 39-33. What do they look like in the East? Let's find out. Oh my God, they're 7th in the East right now. A couple of games behind the Pacers. Well, Boston has already clinched the conference. Okay, so yeah, not our year, but that's okay. Nobody cares about basketball, right? Let's talk about racing. I don't know. Tell me who you got in the tournament as well. If you bet on somebody, if you got a pick in that NCAA tournament, put it in the chat. Let me know who you got. Let me know what you put on it. I know Landon likes to put a couple of bets down. Landon, who'd you pick in the tournament? Nick Pressey on the outside of Tom Sears. It's going to be 17 laps to go for a little bit of money and a hunk of metal. We got some prize money for these drivers tonight. And then Tanner Lockhart from the ENEA Xbox days has graciously donated a Dale Earnhardt Jr. Color Chrome Nilla Wafers diecast for the winner of tonight's race. That's going to be awesome to see as well. They got 17 laps to decide it. Tom Sears has control as we come to the line. 17 to go in the All-Star. Green flag is out. Brooklyn's Nick Pressey on the outside of Seth Wansing with 16 to go. 1-5 at the line. Seth Wansing in that gold Miller Lite machine wants a piece of Tom Sears out at the front. 2/10 between them. Here comes Belleville. He used that fast repair after being collected in Pressey's wreck with the 94 and the 14 on the outside of that 9.4. He is hooked up. Landon cheering for this guy right here. Toby Estes in that number 8. 1-5 left. Purple lap as Toby Estes gets into the wall. Seth Wansing, 31.05, fastest of the day. Here he is to the inside of Tom Sears. He wants the money and the diecast. 9 car to the inside. 41 coming up behind him. He might be able to get around Tom Sears. Well, can he make it stick, though? Look at him go up the racetrack. Here comes Noah Belleville. He won't go 3 wide this time by. Tom Sears just coming down on the 9 a little bit, this time leaving a little bit of room as he sails up the racetrack. Noah Belleville now goes purple, 30.98, the only driver to put in a 32nd lap today. Belleville shoots to the inside. Wansing can't block, but Belleville sends it in just a little too late. 9:41, running second and third. Miss Moneypenny cheering for Noah. Grandma Jeannie in the house as well, cheering for the driver from DeSoto. Toby Estes now to the inside of Nick Pressey. This is him getting around for that 4th position. Not sure how the 94 caused the wreck and stayed up front. I'm not sure if the 94 chose to not pit. Maybe he had to use that. Actually, no, he got messed up pretty bad. Maybe he had to use that fast repair. I'm honestly not sure. That's a great question, Landon. I mean, no penalties were assessed. But you heard it from Tom Sears. Definitely just a really, really slick track. Sears still leading, coming to 11 laps to go. Noah Belleville gets around Seth Wansing, and now the race for first lies with the 14. 11 laps left. .10 to go, and next time it's 9 at the line. 1-4-4-1-9. Running 1-2-3. Looking at the game between UConn and San Diego State, UConn leads 73-48 with just under 4 minutes to go in that second half. Belleville getting loose out of that 4th corner. Is he pushing the tires too hard? And now you got big questions to ask. Because does the 14 have the tires to make it? If there's one guy that knows about conserving resources, it's absolutely Tom Sears. But here comes Noah Belleville trying to get around him. And Seth Wansing's got some fans in the chat. Mama Catherine says, get on up there. He just got passed by Toby Estes in that number 8. Over the last 5 laps in this race, these are the lap times. Estes quicker than Wansing. And quicker than Belleville as well. 7 to go this time by. Haven't seen Tom Sears in TNT Victory Lane in too long. This could be the first time in a while. Noah Belleville wants that all-star win. Toby Estes comes up behind him. Seth Wansing watching the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and ultimately 1st place. 7 laps to go. Fans, if you love any of the paint schemes that you've seen tonight, we've been talking about retro paint schemes all night long. Get on over to Drip Diecast and Collectibles. You can find Drip Diecast and Collectibles on Facebook and eBay. Paint schemes like Richie Catania's DuPont Chevrolet. Everybody loves that blue deuce. Speaking of Miller Lite paint schemes, you've got this one here. You've got Seth Wansing in that number 9, that awesome Kurt Busch Gold, as he puts it. He calls it Kurt Busch Gold. You got to love it, right? That Miller Lite Chevrolet. You can see paint schemes like this. Paint schemes like this Lipton car here. The Donald Ray. You can see that one there. Briley Wright in this iconic Kevin Harvick paint scheme as well. All of these die-casts and even more memorabilia you can see on Drip Diecast and Collectibles. They're on Facebook and eBay. It's your number 1 Facebook and eBay store for NASCAR memorabilia. Drip Diecast and Collectibles. Check them out. on Facebook and eBay, your #1 online store. Moneypenny saying the Ernie Irvin M&M's car was the best. I loved that M&M's paint scheme. And then in 2001, when Ken Schrader was driving that paint scheme, as I completely forgot there's a race for the lead here, in the Dover race, I think, which was the first race after September 11th, Ken Schrader ran an unsponsored car, but with a giant American flag on it. That was awesome, awesome, awesome. You gotta ask the folks over at Drip Diecast if they have those paint schemes. Speaking of retro paint schemes, how about the Dale Jr. camouflage one? Toby Estes rocking that one as Seth Wansing decides to greet the fans outside turn number 3. Greeting the iRacing fans for what it's worth. Toby Estes behind Noah Belleville and coming to 3 lonely little laps to go. Belleville goes to the inside, trying to make that move, really putting the car into the grass. Belleville has some fans in the chat tonight. They want to see that win. Tom Sears has to play really hard D. Belleville will try to undercut through the dogleg. 3 miles left in the All-Star. This is what a quarter of a second looks like at 160 iRacing miles an hour. Belleville with a huge slide out of turn number 2. He might have lost momentum, but he keeps it pushing. White flag this time by Noah Belleville within 0.4 of a second to Tom Sears. 1.5 miles remain. Toby Estes not out of this one. 0.6 is the gap. Yukon up 74-50 with 3 minutes to go in the half. 0.3 of a second the difference. Belleville has a couple of chances left. On board with the 4-1. To the line. From Southampton, Massachusetts, Tom Sears will cross the line and win the TNT All-Star event. Noah Belleville in second. Toby Estes in third. 14, 41, 8, your top 3. And Tom Sears in the Western Mass Mechanical Contractors Toyota Supra gets back to TNT victory lane, and a hefty congratulations from Toby Estes. This is going to be a popular win in Thursday Night Thunder. Here comes Seth Wansing coming to congratulate the iRacing man in black, if you will. And I was just saying earlier in tonight's race, when's the last time we saw Tom Sears in Thursday Night Thunder victory lane? Here he comes, winning in the All-Star, the 2-time Thursday Night Thunder champion. Back to his winning ways. That's not supposed to do that. There we go. There's Tom Sears doing some burnouts. We're going to let Tom Sears continue celebrating this TNT win. Fans, don't go anywhere. We're going to have top 3 on the podium in just a moment. on the podium with our top three. An awesome, awesome night of racing. Let's start with tonight's bronze medalist in the All-Star. Toby, awesome run. Landon was rooting for you all night. You had the car dialed in, man.
I wouldn't say dialed. I don't think anybody's car was dialed tonight. It was slick as it could be. Didn't really matter what you did. I think personally it didn't matter what you did, but by the end of the run, you were going to be sliding the rears coming off the exit. So if you could preserve those rears, then it would help you in the long run, but couldn't do it tonight.
We'll see you next week at Atlanta for some actual points racing, man. Congratulations on third. Let's kick it to second place, Noah Belleville. Noah, brilliant race. I think you led the most of it there, but in that second stage, Tom Sears really had a good defensive strategy.
Yeah, I adjusted the car to be a little tighter because, like Toby was saying, you needed to protect the right rear, so that really helped me on the long run. And I was kind of just cruising, did my pit stop, came out, was probably going to cycle the lead, but then they had that wreck, and it was just wrong place, wrong time, and it unironically put Lurkin in the lead, and I was in fifth, and I had to use up too much trying to get back through the field.
Let's talk to Lurkin Tom Sears, winning the All-Star race. Tomo, hey, not only are we talking to you at the end of the show, but you've won the Thursday Night Thunder All-Star. This is going to be a great boost headed into next week's race at Atlanta.
Yeah, hopefully I can start making these races again. Work has really been very busy, so I've been working while everyone's been TNT racing, so I just haven't had the chance for the last few weeks. But it feels good to come in and get a win. Obviously, the prize wheel money or the race win money is going to the driver prize wheel, so that someone can get the winnings tonight. Good race there with Noah. He's really fast, and he's right. If he was probably not back a few spots, I don't know. I mean, I still would have blocked. I was blocking the heck out of him, so who knows? But he's really great driver. He could have probably wrecked me 3 or 4 times if he wanted to, and he did not. So we had a good finish there, and thanks for doing all this.
It's a labor of love, man. Great race tonight. Fans at home, next week, we're actually racing for points and a little bit of prize money as well as the Thursday Night Thunder Championship continues. Season 8 will roll to iRacing's Atlanta Motor Speedway, the new one. Keen fans of TNT will remember a few weeks ago we were at the old configuration, so it'll be the first time this season we run the same track twice, and it's going to be awesome. So some more draft racing next Thursday night right here, but if you just can't wait, we're going to have the super late models again at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway Monday night, 9:10 p.m. All of them, of course, right here on Rick James TV, on Twitch and YouTube. And until that next race, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we